Alrighty now, welcome to the final video of the best and worst of 2015 of The Crew. You just saw my worst list. Now let's get into the list I have been waiting to talk about ever since the start of the year. My top 10 favorite films of 2015. Now, keep in mind guys, these are the movies that I love the most. Now, when it comes to my top 10 best list, I always have a few guidelines I always keep on myself to make a list that I feel confident. For one thing, I love movies that I feel the most exhilaration from. Movies that move me the most. But most importantly, movies that I can replay over and over and over again. Now, these movies I feel like at least had one of those things in it. Now, before I get into those, I also have to let you know, I haven't seen every single movie this year. Movies like Bridge of Spies, they passed under my radar. I am sorry guys, I did not catch Bridge of Spies. Along with Carol, Brooklyn, Room, a lot of those movies I did not see, but for the movies I did see, these are the ones I did love. Now, for the honorable mentions, just like the last ones, I'm going to read them off my phone. Again, starting off, Beasts of No Nation, SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water, Straight Outta Compton, Ant-Man, Spotlight, Sicario, The Martian. That's gonna really, I know, that's gonna really set people off right there. The Revenant, Entourage, and the last one, Ex Machina. Anyways guys, let's get into my top 10 favorite films of 2015.
Number 10.
Coming number 10, you guys know me, this is my favorite genre. None of these types of movies were good this year except for one. Starting off this list is It Follows. No other movie this year in the horror genre scared me nearly as much as this movie did. I've seen it now 3 times, and each time it got better and better and better. Not to mention this movie, did I say it was scary? Because this movie is scary as all hell. It has a great soundtrack, probably the scariest horror score I've heard this decade so far. I'm not sure, but I have to really think about that right now. And I just love the fact that these creatures could be anything. They could be anything from a random person to a loved one, which made it even more frightening. It Follows, I loved you so much, and I cannot wait to watch this movie again.
Number 9.
Coming in number 9 was my favorite film of the summer, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I think that's the most thrilling action of the entire franchise, starting from when Tom Cruise is hanging out that plane, from the underwater sequence where he has to hold his breath, from the motorcycle chase, which is one of the best motorcycle chases I have ever seen put on screen, followed by the ending. Also, this movie has, I think, I can't say it's the best because I love Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3, but the villain in Rogue Nation was awesome. The thing I love most about Rogue Nation was the fact that it didn't try and top Ghost Protocol in terms of stunts. All it tried to do was just making a really fun cat and mouse thriller, and it did exactly that. I had a kick-ass time with Rogue Nation. That is why it's my number 9.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8. Now let's face it guys, comedies this year haven't been that great. We had a few good ones like Spy, we had Trainwreck, but no other comedy made me laugh as hard as What We Do in the Shadows. This movie made me, I was crying to the point of laugh. Crying to the point of laughter? What the shit? I was laughing to the point of crying, and there we go. Fun story about this movie, okay? I saw this the day I saw Unfinished Business. My friend Sarah, who, bless your soul, pal, seriously. She texted me saying, you want a good comedy? Watch this. And from moment 1, I could not stop laughing. We're werewolves, not swearwolves. I was laughing my ass off. There was not a single point where I did not have a smile on my face. No other film made me laugh as hard as What We Do in the Shadows, and that's why it's my number 8.
Number 7.
Coming in number 7 is the most exhilarating character study I had witnessed this year, and that is Steve Jobs. Danny Boyle, Aaron Sorkin, and Michael Fassbender. Put the 3 of them together, and you'll have a hell of a movie right here. I love Danny Boyle's directing. I love Aaron Sorkin as a screenwriter who is nominated. I hope he wins Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars, or is it adapted? I don't know, I'll put it right here. From beginning to end, my eyes were glued to the screen to this movie. And also, I think it's the best edited film of the entire year. 2 hours felt like 45 minutes. Great dialogue, great acting. This movie also has one of the greatest movie insults I have ever heard. And also, this movie was not seen enough. Seriously, guys. Really? Aaron Sorkin, you are a damn master, my friend. That is why Steve Jobs is my number 7.
Number 6.
Coming in at number 6 was the most fun I had this year, and that is my favorite spy film of the year, Kingsman: The Secret Service. It's so strange how a love letter to Bond films, is my favorite spy film of the year. Seriously, Kingsman is evidence that Matthew Vaughn should direct a Bond movie. It was a stylistic love letter to the Bond films, and I love the Bond series, so guess what? I loved Kingsman. The church scene alone is my favorite action scene of the entire year. And whoever thought that Colin Firth could be such a badass action hero? Seriously. No other film gave me as much as a good time as Kingsman did this year, and that is why Kingsman is my number 6.
Number 5.
The top 5 through 2, I was just rearranging back and forth. I was going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5. You get the point, guys. Now, at number 5 comes a film that I thought was not going to come to my area, but then it was announced to go to my area, and it also was one of the most unique experiences I've ever had in my life. Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight. This film gave me one of the most unique cinematic experiences I've ever seen. It felt like it was a privilege to see this movie, so much so that I saw it twice. I might see it a third time before the year ends. The video will be out on January 5th, so the year would have already been over at this point. But no, Quentin Tarantino, seriously, can you ever make a bad movie besides Death Proof? Seriously, I feel like it's physically impossible for Quentin Tarantino to make a bad movie. This movie, from beginning to end, had me just transfixed on the screen. Amazing dialogue, from the monologue that Samuel L. Jackson gives to Brewster, which was one of the funniest monologues. Cringeworthy, but very funny. Oh my god, that monologue is so hysterical. Joe was dying with laughter about this entire thing. Seriously, a Tarantino movie on Christmas? How else can you go wrong? Tarantino, I'm going to cry the day that you announce your retirement as a filmmaker. Watching Reservoir Dogs is my number 5.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4 was a film that came out this summer as well. I am a big fan of this post-apocalyptic franchise. Number 4 goes to, I think, the best action film of the decade, Mad Max Fury Road. No other film this year in terms of action had my heart pounding so hard. Literally, I thought my heart was going to explode at one point. It was pounding so hard. To all you up-and-coming action filmmakers out there, this is how you film action. Wide shots, not shaky cam. You can actually see what's going on. The star work was amazing. The car chases were absolutely thrilling. The acting, yeah, even though Tom Hardy doesn't say much, he still does amazing. And Charlize Theron, it's amazing to finally see a badass, strong female character besides another one that's going to appear later in this list. In terms of action-wise, this is an action masterpiece, in my humble opinion, that is. No other film had my heart pounding as hard as Mad Max Fury Road. This movie is absolutely incredible. I've seen it now at least 4 times. George Miller, you are a goddamn rock star, my friend.
Number 3.
Coming in number 3 is a film that is a spin-off, and this is how you do a spin-off. Number 3 goes to Creed. This is how you do a spin-off. Yes, I'm talking about you, Paramount TV, the marked ones. Rocky was always a great franchise. This is how you do a spin-off or a continuation without making it feel like it's a forced continuation. Sylvester Stallone gets the best performance of his entire career. The one-shot boxing fight, Michael B. Jordan's performance, but Ryan Coogler's direction in this movie is great. You can tell he has a love for this franchise, and not to mention, this movie could not have had a more perfect final shot. Creed was the best way to continue the Rocky franchise. That's why it's my number 3.
Number 2.
Coming in number 2 is from a franchise that is pretty much my childhood right here. So here it is. My number 2 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now originally, I did not want another Star Wars movie because I thought the prequels were just pretty much killed this franchise off entirely. But then I heard J.J. Abrams was directing it, and also heard that Lawrence Kasdan, the writer of my favorite Star Wars film, Empire Strikes Back, was writing it. So I was thinking, alright, first you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention. And my god, did this movie deliver on so many levels. I just wanted a good Star Wars movie, but I got more than a good Star Wars movie. I got a great Star Wars movie that captured the spirit of the original trilogy while injecting so much life into it. J.J. Abrams was the perfect choice to direct this film. From Rey, Poe, Finn, Kylo Ren, BB-8, seeing the original cast return. This movie did everything right. Now, of course, yes, does this movie have flaws? Absolutely. But nonetheless, aside from the flaws of this movie, I cannot deny that this movie brought me back to a galaxy far, far away and made me experience the feelings that I experienced when I was 6 years old. For that reason, Star Wars The Force Awakens is my number 2.
It's Number 1.
Number 1, my favorite film of 2015. Now, keep in mind, guys, I look for 3 specific things in a film. Exhilaration, it has to move me, and it has to have replay value. This movie had all these 3 things, but more. When I look back at the movies I saw this year, I only called one film a masterpiece. My number 1 favorite film of the year of 2015 is Inside Out. Guys, I cannot tell you all how much I absolutely adored Inside Out. This movie literally did everything I wanted to do, and it also gave me more, from the story to the acting to the animation, everything, the score, everything in this movie was perfect. Lewis Black as anger. Now, personally, if I could choose my anger emotion, it'd be our golden entourage. This movie exhilarated me the most. This movie made me cry so much. The scene with Bing Bong in particular, I have never cried so much during a movie in a long time. And each time I went to go see it, I cried even more. The second time I saw it, I was puffing. I was laughing hysterically. I was smiling. I was in disgust. I was angered. I was in fear, but in the best ways possible. This movie teaches so many life lessons. Like, for one thing, we all hate being sad, but we need to cry every once in a while, and it's okay to cry. Emotions working together to form a powerhouse, to basically become you. Inside Out, I feel like, was the true masterpiece of 2015. I absolutely loved Inside Out. No other film came close to Inside Out did. Ever since I saw Inside Out, it has been my number 1 in 2015. Inside Out, congratulations, you're my number 1 film of the year ever since I saw you. There we go, guys. Those were my top 10 favorite films of 2015, including some honorable mentions. Now, for the movies that you did love, let me down below what your top 10 movies were. And that ends also the best and worst series of The Crew. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos from Lucas, Shane, Joe, and Alex. Thank you guys for tuning in to all of our videos. And as always, guys, until my first review of 2015, I will see you all next time.